Last class we discussed when the cutting plane is perpendicular to vertical plane and parallel to horizontal plane. In this condition, in front view, the cutting plane is represented as a line. So all the four problems what we discussed in yesterday's class are in this situation. And coming to the next problem, when the cutting plane is perpendicular to horizontal plane or when the cutting plane is inclined to any of the reference plane, that is either inclined to horizontal plane or inclined to vertical plane. So this is problem 1, 2, 4 we completed. Now, when the cutting plane is perpendicular to the horizontal plane, it is, see here, the cutting plane is perpendicular to the horizontal plane and parallel to vertical plane. And when in this situation, the cutting plane is seen as a line in top view. So in top view, it is represented as a line, and front view you can see the section area. In front view, you can see its section area. Now let us solve one problem. Observe this: a square prism of base side 40 mm and height 60 mm is kept on HP on its base, such as base sides are equally inclined to HP. So when the base is on HP or VP, kept on base is kept on HP means when the base is on HP, you can see the true shape in top view, and in top view the condition is given as the base sides are equally inclined to VP. We have done this condition in projection of solids for a square. When all the sides are equally inclined to VP means you have to draw the square with 45 degrees inclination. It is cut by a cutting plane which is perpendicular to HP. So the cutting plane is perpendicular to HP means we should represent it as a line in top view and parallel to VP 10 mm away from the axis towards the observer. Draw the sectional front view and top view of the prism. So the shape of the object is square prism with base on HP and base sides equally inclined to vertical plane. Next, section plane parallel to VP and perpendicular to HP. The position of the section plane is also given. In previous four problems, the section plane is almost at a height of 25 mm from the horizontal plane, so from the base. But in this problem, it is given as it is 10 mm away from the axis towards the observer. So how to represent? Say this as the object, the square prism is resting with its base on horizontal plane. So you can see the true shape in top view. So one more condition is given, that is all the sides are equally inclined. So first draw XY line and draw a square with all the sides are inclined at 45 degrees to XY line in top view. Name the corners as A, B, C and D. Project them to front view. Complete its representation. So this is the projection of a prism. So for prism we are having 4 corners on base and 4 corners on top. So as here I represented A, B, C, D as visible. So A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash on the top, the visible points and remaining points. So here it is represented as A1, B1, C1, D1. Hiding points which are, see here, this is one more way of representing the hiding points. That is representing within the solid. So A1, B1, C1, D1 are hiding points which are at the base. Now, after drawing this, the cutting plane is at a distance of 10 mm away from the axis. This is the axis point. So 10 mm away from the axis means it can be towards XY line or away from the XY line. As it is parallel to vertical plane, so it is parallel line in top view to XY line. But the position 10 mm away from the axis towards the observer, clearly given in the problem. So as the axis line is towards the observer, so observer direction is always away from x line, this direction. So the projection plane is drawn 10 mm below. Now this projection plane, this section plane is cutting the edges or cutting these rectangular surfaces at these 2 points. So here there are existing two lines, line AB, A1, B1. Similarly here, edge BC and edge B1, C1. So there are 4 points. Represent those 4 points. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that 1 and 2 are on the edges AB, 2 is on the edge BC. 3 and 4 are on A1, B1, B1, C1 and A1, B1. Now project these 4 points onto front view. Project these 4 points onto front view and mark those respective 4 points. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now join them with a smooth line, straight lines, and then fill it with the hatching. So here when it is cutting this, the entire part is removed. So represent this part with HB. The remaining line represent them with 2H. So do you understand this? Having any doubts? Any of you having doubts in this? When the section plane is perpendicular to the vertical plane.
Sir, 1 dash 2 dash 3 dash 4 dash positions ఎలా తెలుసుని sir?
So actually there are 4 points. Let us assume, this is our assumption, but we should take it in an order. 2 points must be on bottom base and 2 points must be on top base. So A order lo choose chesukochu. Here I have chosen as A1 on A1 B1 0.1, B1 C1 0.2, sequence cyclic order on A1 B1 bottom base 1 and one more bottom base B1 C1 0.2. Next, again reverse on BC 0.3 and on AB 0.4. This 4. So numbering can be changed, but it should be in a order 1, 2, 3, 4. So why? Because form chase object, it should be a closed object రావాలి. సో మీరు ఆర్డర్ కనుక రివర్స్ లో ఇస్తే లైక్ 1, 2, 3, 4 ఇట్లా జాయిన్ చేయాల్సి రావాల్సి వచ్చింది. సో బీ కేర్ఫుల్. అర్థమైందా?
Yes, sir.
So now let us move on to the next set of problems. That is when the section plane is inclined to one of the reference planes. So already we discussed when the section plane is perpendicular to HP, it looks as a line in front view. So in top view, when the section plane is perpendicular to VP, it looks as a line in front view. So here, see this problem. The section plane appears as a straight line. The section plane perpendicular to VP and inclined to HP. Always inclination to HP means this inclination is shown in front view. When the line is or the plane is inclined to VP, the inclination is represented in top view. So go through the sections of projections of planes when the plane is inclined to any one reference plane. Now this is the condition, but here what happens is we have to draw one more figure. Suppose if you cut a object in the inclined direction and if you are seeing exactly from top, can you see the true shape of the plane? True shape of the plane kanipistunda?
No, sir.
True shape of the plane kanapadali ante the condition is we must see in a direction perpendicular to the plane. So whenever if you want to see the true shape of any surface, we must see in a direction perpendicular to the plane surface. So here what we are observing in top view is not the true shape of the section. It is the apparent shape of the section. So if you want to represent the true shape, you have to project the lines perpendicular to this plane. ఈ plane కి perpendicular గా project చేసి and you have to show the true shape of the section. We'll discuss how to draw the true shape of the section in the next problem. So these are some examples. Even though it is looking as an ellipse, but unless you see in the direction perpendicular to this surface, you can't see the true shape of the section. Similarly in this, if you want to see its the true shape, you must see the component perpendicular to the cutting plane. Otherwise the viewing shape is only the apparent shape. Now observe this problem. Problem number 6. A square pyramid, base 40 mm side and axis 65 mm long, has its base on HP and all the edges of the base are equally inclined to VP. Same as the previous condition, but here it is a pyramid. All the edges of the base are equally inclined to VP. It is cut by a section plane perpendicular to VP, inclined at 45 degrees to HP and bisecting the axis. Draw the sectional top view, sectional side view. So here one more condition is also asking us to represent or draw the side view also. So be careful. Problem చూడంగానే continue అయిపోకుండా read the problem, spend time at least 2 to 3 minutes for reading the problem and understanding the conditions given. సో నేను ప్రాబ్లం క్లాస్లో సాల్వ్ చేసేటప్పుడు కూడా ఇప్పుడు కూడా కింద గివెన్ కండిషన్స్ అన్నీ కూడా షార్ట్ ఫామ్లో రాస్తున్నాను. సో మేక్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఎ ప్రాక్టీస్. యూ ట్రై టు రిప్రజెంట్ ఆల్ ద గివెన్ డేటా ఇన్ ద షార్ట్ ఫామ్ ఇన్ అ మెయిన్ ఆన్సర్ స్క్రిప్ట్ అండ్ దెన్ స్టార్ట్ సాల్వింగ్ ద ప్రాబ్లం. అలా కాకుండా మీరు హడావుడిగా ప్రాబ్లం స్టార్ట్ చేశారా, యూ మే మిస్ 1 or 2 points గివెన్ ఇన్ ద ప్రాబ్లం. సో అలా చేసేమవుతుంటే యూ విల్ లూజ్ ద మార్క్స్. So be careful. Problem matching conditions anni koda write it one by one in a sequential order. Make it as a practice. The conditions are: first, object square pyramid with base on HP, and one more condition: all the edges of the base are equally inclined to vertical plane. All the edges of the base are equally inclined to vertical plane. And coming to sectional plane, it is perpendicular to VP and inclined to HP. Inclined, what is inclination angle? 45 degrees. And one more thing it is given as, it is bisecting the axis. Means the cutting plane is passing through the midpoint of the axis. You should remember this. So here he is asking to draw the two views, top view and also the sectional top view, side view. Sectional top view and sectional side view. Along with this, the true shape of the sections. You have to draw these 3 conditions. First step. So given the problem on the top also, draw XY line as all edges of the base are equally inclined. So with 45 degrees inclined line, first draw a 45 degrees inclined line and draw the first side of the square along this line and complete the construction of square. So one more way of constructing square. See here, if you are not using the drafter, if you are using the drafter, you can use the 2 perpendicular scale and complete the construction. And if you are not using the drafter, draw a horizontal line and vertical line from the 2 endpoints, means the 2 diagonals, and identify the intersection of the diagonals. Now, with this point as the center, complete the circle. Now, take the compass and set radius equal to length of one side, or already you are having these 4 points. Just, no need of the compass, just join these 4 corners. You will get easily. If you are not using drafter, as many of you are practicing on normal A4 sheets. So use this method. So you'll get the accurate shape. Now, the top view is completed. Project all the points from top view. As it is a pyramid, represent the two diagonal lines. The line joining from the base points to the apex. Pyramid key, you should represent it compulsorily. Apex point. Now, project all the points. As the base is on horizontal plane, project the base points only up to xy line and axis. Draw the length of the axis as per the given dimension. What is the given dimension? Axis 65 mm long. So draw the axis for 65 mm long. Join all the base points to the apex. AO, BO, CO, DO. And as you are seeing in this direction, point D is hiding. So D dash is represented as hidden point. And O dash. So with this, we completed drawing the projection of solid. Projection of the pyramid in the given condition. With base on HP, all the edges of the base are equally inclined to VP. Now coming to section plane. Can any of you explain how the section plane is passing? Roll number 79. Roll number 79. Read the problem and explain how the section plane is passing. Are you there or not? 79. Just read the problem. 81.
Sir,
Yes. Just read the problem again and say how the section plane is passing or cutting the pyramid. I think you can see the problem on screen.
sir, inclined at 45 degrees.
Yes, inclined at 45 degrees to HP. The section plane is inclined at 45 degrees to HP and perpendicular to VP. One more condition, the main condition is it is bisecting the axis. You should remember these conditions. It is bisecting the axis. So first identify the midpoint of the axis. It is 65 mm long. So the one way is at drawing the perpendicular bisector, you can get the midpoint. Now passing this point, draw the section plane inclined at 45 degrees. Draw the section plane inclined at 45 degrees and bisecting. Now, this section plane is cutting the edge AO, BO, CO, and DO. Name these as 1, 2, 3, and 4. So remember to highlight the edges with HB pencil. Now, project these points up to top view, the intersection point of the section plane with the object. What are these points? And you can transfer the cutting edge on AO edge directly, on CO edge directly. But the cutting edge on DO, if you project it, BO and DO, it will be getting on this line. So direct ka raadu. So what you have to do is, we have to project this point onto the extreme slant edge and then project it downward. Next, with OR center and this distance as radius, draw the arcs to get the 2 points on BO and DO. Join these 4 points for getting the sectional top view. Finally, highlight the retained object. This is a retained. And internal, these parts we are eliminating, so it is represented with hatching. Circular representing this point 4. But while solving the problem, try to represent these numbers at the starting. So now, in problem he has asked you to draw the true shape of the section. For drawing the true shape of the section, what you have to do is draw the perpendicular lines from 1, 2, 3 and 4. From all these points, draw the perpendicular line to the section plane or cutting plane. Now, measure the distance from XY line to 1. Measure the distance, see this red color line? Measure the distance from XY line to 1 with compass. Set 1 dash as radius. Draw an arc on this line. So you'll get the point. 1, 1. Name this point as 1, 1. Similarly, draw the perpendicular line from 2. Measure the distance from 2 and 4 with these respective points. First 4 and then 2. So here the 2 points are on the same line, 2 and 4. So 4 distance is represented by blue color line, 2 is represented with green color. So represent 2 and 4. Now draw a perpendicular line from 3. Measure the distance from XY line to 3 in top view. Top view lo XY line nunchi 3 varaku distance measure chesi 3 as center, draw an arc. Mark this point as 3, 1. Join all these with a straight line, so continuous line. And fill it with the hatching. So this is the sectional top view and true shape of the section. Now coming to side view. So till now, do you have any doubts? The main thing, the new thing what we have drawn is true shape of the section. Any doubt now?
So top view lo 2, 4 points ఎట్లా వచ్చేసి
2, 4 points, yes. Draw a perpendicular line to 2 and 4. And from XY line into 4, distance, measure the distance from XY line to 4.
top view
4
lo
as, yes?
top view lo points sir
Top
2
view
dash
of
4
point,
dash
yes.
2, 4
Yes, okay. Point 1 dash is on AO edge. And here there are two edges, BO and DO. BO, DO, two slant edges only. So on AO, point 1, BO, point 2, CO, point 3, on DO, point 4. AO, BO, DO, CO. See 4 points అయిన తర్వాత project this 2, 4 to the extreme edge. Extreme slant edge కి represent draw చేసి draw a parallel line to XY line. Project చేసిన తర్వాత name this point. No need of naming. If you want to name it as some 2, 1 dash or 2, 2, 2 dash. ఈ point ని project it onto secular project చేసాం. So we have projected this up to AO edge. So project this up to AO in top view. Now take the distance from O to this projection distance. Take this as the distance. O as center, draw arcs. O as center, draw arcs on BO and DO edges. BO on BO. On BO, point 2, and on DO, point 4. Is it clear now?
yes sir
So do you have any doubts in drawing true shape of the section? So now let us draw the side view. So for side view, draw a perpendicular line to XY line. Name this as X1, Y1 line. Now draw the projections from front view and top view. So from front view, draw the parallel lines from front view, directly parallel line to XY line from each and every point. And from top view, say if you want to project any point from top view. So last class, the projections of lines the mistake chupichanu. So still if you any of you having doubts, how to draw the projection from top view to side view or side view to top view? Draw the projection from D2 X1 Y1 line. D2 X1 Y1 line. Now with the intersection point of XY X1 Y1 as center and taking this as the distance. Draw an arc. So you should draw the complete arc from x1 y1 to xy. ఇక్కడి నుంచి ఇక్కడి వరకు complete arc రావాలి. కొంతవరకు డ్రా చేసి రిమైనింగ్ విత్ స్ట్రైట్ లైన్ చేశారు 1 or 2 members. Don't repeat it. This is D double dash. See here, as D is on xy line. So projection from D. Both of them intersection is D double dash. Similarly, draw the projection from C and A. This is a projection from both C and A, and also from the axis point COA. Draw the arc. And on the base, we're having points C and A. So for drawing side view, which side view this is? Left side view or right side view?
Left side.
Left side view. As we are drawing on right hand side, it is a left side view. So left side view kabatti, we are seeing the component from left hand side in this direction. When you're seeing the component towards the x1 y1 line from left hand side, point A is visible and C is hiding. So represent C in the dashed line. Next, draw the projection from B and then arc. So intersection point from B dash and B. So as the base is on xy line, we'll get points A dash, A double dash, B double dash, C double dash, D double dash on xy line. Now draw the axis line. Project O dash on the intersection point of from top view projection and front view projection. The intersection point, name it as O double dash. Join all the base corners to the apex. AO, BO, CO, DO. Initially draw it with 2H. Why? Because as we are removing the upper part, so the upper part must be drawn or left only with 2H. So after projecting the pyramid, now let us project the points 1, 2, 3, 4 also. So draw the projection from 3. Where is this 3 line? 3 is on OCH. So up to CO or OCH. Name this point as 3 double dash. 2 and 4. Point 2 is on B dash O dash H. 4 dash is on D dash O dash H. So similarly, 2 dash on BO, 4 double dash on D dash O dash H. Next, 1 dash is on A dash O dash. So project 1 dash up to AO. Name this as 1 double dash. Join all this with the straight lines. Join all this with the straight line. And as we are cutting the solid with the cutting plane and removing the upper part, so leave the remaining upper part with 2H. Only highlight the base. And one more thing is, and as you are seeing in front view, in this side view, in this direction, the slant edge from 3 to C up to this portion is hidden. It is not overlapped. Why? Because we are removing this edge. So observe cheyandi ikkada, small logic. When it is a complete solid, CO edge is overlapped by AO. But we are cutting with a section plane and removing this region. ఈ region remove చేసినప్పుడు the edge CO is retained from C to 3. But AO edge ni A1 వరకే retain చేస్తున్నాం. So A1 edge is only up to this part. But the remain ఇక్కడ solid మొత్తం remove చేసాం కాబట్టి we have to represent C3 edge up to this point as dashed line and complete it with hatching. Is it clear? Still any of you having doubts in drawing the side view? At least unmute and say no doubts.
No doubts.
నాకు మీ నుంచి రెస్పాన్స్ కానీ వాయిస్ ఏం వినపడకపోతే జస్ట్ నాకు ఎలా ఉందంటే నేను సిస్టమ్తో మాట్లాడుతున్నట్టు ల్యాప్టాప్తో మాట్లాడుతున్నట్టే ఉంది, నాట్ సేయింగ్ ద క్లాస్. సో ఇఫ్ ఐ హర్డ్ 1 or 2 ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ దెన్ ఐ విల్ బి కాన్ఫిడెంట్. నాకు కూడా ఓకే స్టూడెంట్స్ చెప్తున్నాను అన్న ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ఉంటుంది. And one more thing, when you are explaining through PPT, I can't see the screen. If somehow some of you have typed in the chat box, even I can't see the information in chat box. So when only way to communicate is unmute your audio and respond. Now note on the next problem. So it is with a cone. So see here I am highlighting the basic points which we have to identify from the problem. A cone with base 75 mm diameter and axis 80 mm long is resting on its base on horizontal plane. It is cut by a section plane perpendicular to VP inclined at 45 degrees to HP. Same as the previous problem, but it is cutting the axis at a point 35 mm from the apex. So be careful. It is given the distance from the apex. So read carefully whether it is from base or from the apex. It is cutting the axis point at a point 35 mm from the apex. Draw the front view, sectional top view and sectional side view, true shape of the section. So read the problem and identify what are the figures which we have to draw. So in problem, if he has not given to draw the sectional side view, no need to draw the sectional side view. And in some cases, he may be specific and ask to draw the left side view or draw the right side view. So atvantapudu it is not our choice. Problem law, as per the given dimension or the given information, we have to draw. If you ask to draw the left side view, we must draw the left side view on right hand side of front view. If it is given to draw the right side view, we have to draw the right side view on left hand side of the front view. So write down the important points from the question. A cone resting with its base on the HP, that is shape of the objects and its position. Next, cutting plane and its inclination, perpendicular to VP and inclined to HP. This inclination is 45 degrees. Next, the section plane is cutting the axis at 35 mm from the apex. Now, let us start the problem. First, draw XY line. As the cone is resting on its base on HP, we can see the true shape in top view. Draw the top view as a circle. Divide it into 12 equal parts. So, best option is divide it into 12 equal parts. Why? Because if you divide it into 12 only, you will get a smooth curve in top view or the sectional views. Otherwise, for getting only limited number of points, it is difficult to draw a smooth curve passing through those points. So better to divide it into 12 parts. Name these points as 1 to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 12. Now, draw the projections from top view to the front view. In front view, as the cone is resting on its base on HP, so as the base is on HP, project these points only up to XY line and draw the axis as per the given length. Axis is 80 mm long. Draw the axis and identify the apex point. Now, draw the outermost generator with HB and the remaining generators with 2H. Here we require the internal generators. Why? Because the section plane is cutting the cone. So we have to mark all these points, identify all these points. So, but for the previous sections of solids or sorry, projections of solids, I said no need to draw the internal generators. Why? Because there is no use. But here we have to mark the cutting points. So we require these lines. So represent them with 2H pencil. All represent all the points 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash. Next, mark a point at a height of 35 mm from the apex. At a distance of 35 mm from the apex, mark the point and passing from this point at an inclination of 45 degrees, draw the cutting plane. Now, mark the points where this cutting plane is intersecting the generators. It is intersecting the generator 1O, 2O, 3O, 4O, 5O, 6O, 7O, again 8O, 9O, 10O, 11O, 12O in a cyclic order. So give the number in the cyclic order in the same order and draw the projections from, see here, this is the cutting point of section plane with 1O. Project this up to 1O line. Similarly, identify the intersection point of section plane with 2O line. Project this up to 2O line. For drawing the projection of 4O and 10O, here we'll get it in overlapping projection వస్తుంది. So that's why what you have to do is, you have to draw a perpendicular line to axis or parallel to XY line and then project this point up to O1 line. Next, with O as center and this distance as radius, draw the arcs on 10O and 4O. Remaining points, you can directly draw the projections. Now, mark all these points and draw a smooth curve passing through these points. So don't forget to give numbers or letters for these intersection points. Now, highlight the retained part and leave the remaining with the 2H pencil. So let this be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. And on front view, A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash. So do you have any doubts up till now? How to draw? Yes. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Now, drawing the sectional true shape of the section. For drawing the true shape of the section, draw the perpendicular lines from each and every line. Draw the perpendicular line from each and every line. Here, one more thing I want to say, but here I have not represented. The better way is, instead of drawing directly distances, ఈ section plane ki parallel ga one more line draw cheskondi. Draw a parallel line to this section plane. Somewhere here, outside of this solid. Outside of the solid draw cheskondi. చేసి ఈ పాయింట్స్ మార్క్ చేసుకోండి. అదర్వైజ్ ఏమవుతుందంటే, ఇన్ కేస్ ఇన్ ఎనీ సిచ్యువేషన్, ఇఫ్ దిస్ టాప్ వ్యూ ఇస్ నీడెడ్ టు XY లైన్, మనం డ్రా చేసే ట్రూ షేప్ ఆఫ్ ద సెక్షన్ ఈ ఒరిజినల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మీద ఓవర్లాప్ అయ్యే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి. అలా రాకుండా ఉండాలంటే టూ ఆప్షన్స్. ఏదర్ డ్రా దిస్ టాప్ వ్యూ అవే ఫ్రమ్ XY లైన్, కొద్ది డిస్టెన్స్ మెయింటైన్ చేసి డ్రా చేయండి. యాజ్ మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ దే వోంట్ గివ్ యూ ద స్పెసిఫిక్ డిస్టెన్స్. కాబట్టి ఏం చేస్తారంటే, ఈ టాప్ వ్యూ డ్రా చేసినప్పుడు డిస్టెన్స్ మెయింటైన్ చేయండి. ఇక్కడ కనుక మీరు డిస్టెన్స్ మెయింటైన్ చేయకపోతే ట్రూ షేప్ ఆఫ్ ద సెక్షన్ డ్రా చేసినప్పుడు విల్ గెట్ ఏ ఓవర్లాపింగ్ విత్ ద సాలిడ్. లేదా డ్రా వన్ మోర్ ప్యారలల్ లైన్ టు దిస్ సెక్షనల్ ప్లేన్. ఈ సెక్షనల్ ప్లేన్ కి వన్ మోర్ ప్యారలల్ లైన్ డ్రా చేసుకోండి. నౌ measure the distance. XY line నుంచి 1 distance measure చేస్తాము. A dash as center, mark this point. Similarly, A1, B1, C1, D1, E1. అన్ని పాయింట్స్ కూడా మార్క్ చేసుకోండి. And draw a smooth curve passing through all these points. Measure the distance from XY line to A. A dash as center, draw an arc. XY line to B. B dash as center, arc. XY line to C. So, in order, mark all these points and join all these. So, మీరు కనుక 8 equal parts చేసుకుంటే you may not get the smooth shape of the section. So, do you have any doubts? సో ఇంకొకసారి ఒక్కోసారి ఏమవుతుందంటే మనం దగ్గరగా కనుక డ్రా చేసుకుంటే ఈ షేప్ సాలిడ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ని ఓవర్లాప్ అయ్యే ఛాన్స్ ఉంది. అందుకని ఏం చేయాలి అంటే అట్లా దగ్గరగా వస్తుందని మీకు ఏదైనా డౌట్ ఉంటే ఈ సెక్షన్ ప్లేన్ కి ప్యారలల్ గా వన్ మోర్ లైన్ డ్రా చేసుకుని XY లైన్ నుంచి ఏ డిస్టెన్స్ మెజర్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఈ ప్యారలల్ లైన్ నుంచి మార్క్ చేసుకోండి. సో ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ మార్కింగ్ పాయింట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ A dash ఆ ప్యారలల్ లైన్ నుంచి మార్క్ చేసుకుంటే జస్ట్ వీఆర్ మూవింగ్ దిస్ సెక్షనల్ ప్లేన్ లిటిల్ బిట్ ఫార్ అవే. సో ప్రతిసారి అవసరం ఉండదు. ఇన్ కేస్ మీకు ఎక్కడ డౌట్ వచ్చి ఏదైనా ఓవర్లాప్ అవుతుంది అనుకుంటే. సో ఫర్ డ్రాయింగ్ ద సైడ్ వ్యూ, draw the projections from each and every point on top view up to x1 y1 line, and now arcs from these points. As all the points, base points are on xy line, draw up to xy line only. Mark the respective intersection points. 1 double dash, 2 double dash, 3 double dash, and so on up to 12 double dash. Next, draw the axis for a height of 80 mm, or you can also project this for getting the intersection point. Join all the base points to the apex. Now, draw the projections from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. All the points. A dash is on 1O line. So draw the projection from AO, from A dash, only up to 1O line. B is on 2O line. So draw the projection from B up to 2O line. C is on 3O line. So draw the projection up to 3O line. So similarly on all this. Mark the respective intersection points and then draw a smooth curve passing through these points. Next, highlight the retained part and leave the remaining parts with 2H pencil as it is. Finally, complete it with the hatching. So do you have any doubts in this? So if you are having any doubts, unmute your audio and clarify. Otherwise, I will move on to the next problem. So if you observe, any problems chasing sections of solids, the procedure is simple. Even compared to the projections of solids, understanding the sections of solids is easier. Why? Because our syllabus is limited only when the object is in simple position. Now coming to the next problem, 8th problem, hexagonal pyramid. First read the problem. A hexagonal pyramid, base 30 mm side and axis 65 mm long. With base resting on HP and two of the edges of the base are parallel to VP. It is cut by section plane perpendicular to VP and inclined at 45 degrees to HP, intersecting the axis at a point 25 mm above the base. Draw the front view, sectional top view, and sectional side view, true shape of the section. So actually, as this is a class and explanation point of view, I'm explaining all this, drawing all the views. But in examination, you may not get the drawing of sectional side view. If it is not given to draw the sectional side view, no need to draw. So don't waste time. So first read the problem clearly and identify what are the views which you have to draw. So first draw the XY line and construct the hexagon. So how to draw the hexagon? By inscribing method. Inscribe it in a circle as it is given. The two sides, two edges of the base are parallel to VP. So in top view, you must draw in your orientation with two of its sides parallel to XY line. So first draw a horizontal line, horizontal diameter line with this horizontal diameter endpoints and radius equal to side of the hexagon what we require to draw 30 mm. Draw the arcs and again one more this more endpoint and draw these two arcs. So you must draw as light as possible even using 2H. Complete drawing the hexagon. After drawing the hexagon, as it is a pyramid, so show all the lines joining from base of the base corners to the apex. Mark these points as A, B, C, D, E, and F. Now project all the points from top view to the front view as it is resting on its base on HP. Project all the corners of the base only up to XY line and from here draw the axis for a height of 65 mm. And now mark all the base points A, B, C, D, E, F and draw the lines joining from base corners to the apex. So with this we completed the projection of solid. The first step is projection of solid. Second step, drawing the cutting plane. So how the cutting plane is? It is cut by a section plane perpendicular to VP and inclined at 45 degrees to HP. So when it is perpendicular to VP, it looks as a line in front view. So in front view, you must draw a line at 45 degrees inclination and intersecting the axis at a point 25 mm above the base. So first identify the point at a distance 25 mm from the base. After marking the apex, mark a point at a height of 25 mm from the base. Passing through this point, draw the section plane. Draw the section plane. See, any of you identify the difference with the previous problem to this problem? What is the difference to the previous problems to this problem?
Inclined line can sir.
Yes. Previous two problems now, the section plane is not cutting the base, but here the section plane is cutting the base. So the section plane, instead of passing all through these slant edges, it is passing through the base of the pyramid. So here, what are the two lines, possible lines? Observe it in the top view. The two possible lines are AB and AF. So here there are two edges, AB and AF. So you should give the numbering in a sequential order. Draw the projections from each and every. So here it is cutting the base on the base edges AB and AF. It is cutting the slant edge BOFO at this point, COEO at this point, and DO at this point. Draw the projections. So this is a point on DO. So project it up to DO. This is the point on CO and EO. So draw the projections up to CO and EO, the two intersection points. Similarly, this is a point intersection of cutting plane with BO and FO. So project this up to BO and FO. Now mark all these points. Give this numbering. See here the numbering. So it should be in a order. So don't give both the numbers same sequence 1 and 2 continuously here or 2 and 3 here. Why? Because B and F are not the adjacent edges or adjacent sides. BF adjacent sides కాదు కాబట్టి 2, 3 or 3, 4 are continuous numbers don't give. So go in a sequential order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Join them with a straight line and complete the hatching. Now top view points, front view points, and then highlight the retained part. Leave the remaining part with 2H in both front view and top view. Next, see here, last class lo chepparu, previous problem cheppanu. Ikkada emotundante, in case if you identify మనం డ్రా చేసే సెక్షన్ ఏరియా XY లైన్ కి దగ్గరగా ఉంటే ఈ డ్రా చేసే టూ షేప్ ఆఫ్ ద సెక్షన్ ఈ సాలిడ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ని ఓవర్లాప్ అయ్యే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి. సో అది అవాయిడ్ చేయడానికి ఏం చేస్తామంటే we will draw a parallel line to section line. ఈ సెక్షనల్ లైన్ కి parallel గా one more line డ్రా చేస్తాం. And then draw the projections from perpendicular lines from each and every point. Each and every point నుంచి perpendicular lines draw చేసి, and here what you have to follow is measure the distance from XY line to 1. Measure the distance from XY line to 1 measure చేసి ఈ X1 Y1 line నుంచి ఆర్క్ కట్ చేయాలి. Not from this 1 dash. ఇదేంటంటే we'll maintain this distance so that the true shape of the section doesn't overlap with this solid. Similarly, the other points. 7 point. Measure the distance from XY line to 7. X1 Y1 line is the center. Draw an arc. So here, while drawing this, we should draw mark the distances from this X1 Y1 line. So already we have represented this as X1 Y1 line. So represent this as X2 Y2. Just notations, even X2 Y2 X3 Y3 represent చేసుకున్నా no problem, but giving it as a separate numbers. So this is for drawing the side view. So side view draw చేయాలండి, what do you have to do? Draw the projections from top view and then top view to side view. From here onwards, arcs. So arcs draw చేయాలంటే center is intersection of x1 y1 and xy line. ఇది center తీసుకుని complete arc quarter circle draw చేయాల్సిందే. Now as all the base points are on xy line, draw this up to xy line and mark the respective intersection points and also draw the axis line. So this is the projection from axis point. So project this up to the axis height. Mark all the respective points. So be careful. This is a projection coming from B and C. So these are B double dash, C double dash. Projection from A and D. So these are the points A double dash, D double dash. This is a projection from F and D. So these are the points F double dash and E double dash. Similarly, O double dash. Draw all the lines joining the base corners to the apex. So next step is projecting the intersection points 1 to 7 points. So here one more thing, if you project point 1 and 7 from here, what happens? If you project 1 and 7, we're getting a parallel line. Both are coinciding lines, so you don't get a required respective point. So we have to project 1 and 7 from the top view. We have to project these points 1 and 7 from the top view. Draw the projection from 7. 7 is on the line, on the edge AF, base edge AF. Similarly, 1 is on the base edge AB. project these two up to these points 1 and 7. So 1 and 7 must be represented on the base. And remaining points as in the previous problem. 2 and 6. 2 is on BO edge. 6 is on FO edge. Next 3 and 5. 3 is on CO. 5 is on EO. Next 4 dash is on C dash D dash. Sorry, DO edge. So this is the point 4. So join them in a order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now as we are eliminating the upper part, this must be represented with 2H. And as you're cutting this complete section, in another section cut chestunam kabatti, this 4D is represented as a dashed line. This edge from 4 to D dash. Or because we are removing this front part. So this must be represented with dashed line and complete with hatching. See here, as you are at home, you can see the true shapes. Take any carrot or any object. Simple ga mere cutting plane itla cut chesi chudandi. You can get it. See here, if you are drawing in this view, you can see it as a line. Top view chuse only reduced shape kanpadtundi. Only when you see in the direction perpendicular to the plane, you can see the true shape of the section. So you can see the true shape of the section. Exact parallel view lo draw chuste, other parallel top view lo chuste, you can see only the reduced shape. Or carrot leda only some potato. Cut it in the, you can put it at the easy. We can form any shape easily. See here. Now let us draw the next one. Problem number 10.
Sir,
9. Yes.
sir, previous problem ki sectional and position ఎందుకు షిఫ్ట్ చేశారు సార్?
జస్ట్ ఏంటంటే ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్గా చూపించడానికి దెర్ ఇస్ నో రీజన్. ఇది ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడ ఏమైంది, సెక్షన్ ప్లేన్ ఇక్కడ వరకు కట్టేది. సెక్షన్ ప్లేన్ కొద్దిగా కిందకు ఉంది. ప్రీవియస్ ప్రాబ్లంతో కంపేర్ చేస్తే ద సెక్షనల్ ప్లేన్ ఈస్ లిటిల్ బిట్ ఇన్ ద లోయర్ పార్ట్ అండ్ ఈ డిస్టెన్స్ చాలా దగ్గరగా ఉంది. సో దేర్ ఇస్ అ పాసిబిలిటీ ఆఫ్ ద ట్రూ షేప్ ఆఫ్ ద సెక్షన్ ఓవర్లాపింగ్. ఇది ట్రూ షేప్ ఆఫ్ ద సెక్షన్ ఈ లైన్ తీసుకోకుండా డైరెక్ట్గా ఇక్కడి నుంచే డిస్టెన్స్ మార్క్ చేస్తే ఈ 2 పాయింట్ ఈ ఒరిజినల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్కి ఓవర్లాప్ అయ్యే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి. అది కంపల్సరీ కాదు x1 y1 డ్రా చేయాల్సిందని. సో మీకు ఎప్పుడన్నా అనిపిస్తే కనుక ఈ ట్రూ షేప్ ఆఫ్ ద సెక్షన్ ఫ్రంట్ వ్యూకి ఇంటర్సెక్ట్ అవుతుంది అనుకున్నప్పుడు కొద్దిగా మూవ్ చేయడానికి డిస్టెన్స్ మెయింటైన్ చేస్తాం. సో యాక్చువల్లీ దెర్ ఈస్ నో కంపల్సరీ రూల్. కాకపోతే ఒక ప్రాసెస్ చూపించడానికి నేను డ్రా చేశాను. సో మీరు అవాయిడ్ చేయాలంటే వన్ మోర్ వే కూడా ఫాలో అవ్వచ్చు. దట్ ఈస్ డ్రాయింగ్ దిస్ టాప్ వ్యూ లిటిల్ బిట్ బిలో. ఆ సఫిషియంట్ డిస్టెన్స్ కనుక మెయింటైన్ చేస్తే x1 y1 లైన్ లేకుండా యూ కెన్ మెయింటైన్ దోస్ డిస్టెన్స్ రిలేషన్స్. ఓకేనా? ఇది కంపల్సరీ కాదు, జస్ట్ ఏంటంటే వన్ మోర్ మెథడ్ ఉంది అని చూపించడానికే రిప్రజెంట్ చేశాను. మీరు లేకుండా డ్రా చేసినా కూడా కరెక్టే. క్లియర్ ఇన్ ద డౌట్?
Yes, sir.
Here's a large problem. A pentagonal pyramid, base 30 mm side and axis 60 mm long, is lying on one of its triangular faces on the HP. Already we have done this problem in projections of solids. Is it or not? A pyramid, when it is lying on one of its triangular faces on HP, with its axis parallel to VP, it is cut by a section plane whose HT bisects the top view of the axis. Don't confuse. HT is nothing but, don't observe in the problem now. HT horizontal trace and nothing but when the plane is extended, the intersection of the plane with the horizontal plane is called as HD, mains. So I will show you, I will drawing the figure also. So it is cutting the top view. So sectional plane along it is a vertical sectional plane and perpendicular to the horizontal plane. When a plane is perpendicular to the horizontal plane, in top view you can see as a line. So the line what you are observing in top view is nothing but its trace. So directly condition ఇవ్వకుండా he has given us represented as a HT. So confuse అవ్వద్దు. So HT ఇచ్చారంటే it is perpendicular to the vertical plane. ఆ టాప్ వ్యూలో మనం చూస్తే లైన్ it is nothing but the horizontal trace of that particular plane. Now it is but top view of the axis makes it is bisecting the top view of the axis and makes an angle of 30 degrees with the reference line. Cuts the pyramid, removing the top part. Condition is maximum. Default is will remove always the top part. Draw the top view, sectional front view and true shape of the section. And development of the surface of the remaining portion of the pyramid. Actually, I'm not explaining the development of surface. Actual development of the surface is next topic, unit number 5. Draw XY line and how the pyramid is resting. Base side and axis, it is resting with triangular faces with HP and axis parallel to VP. So in the initial condition, it is given as axis parallel to VP means inclined to HP. So first, let us assume the axis perpendicular to HP. When axis perpendicular to HP, true shape of the view is shown on. True shape of the base is seen in top view. So top view low, draw the pentagon. So one of the rectangular triangular faces resting kabatti. In initial view, draw with the pentagon axis. So one of the base is perpendicular to XY line. So as it is a pyramid, identify the center, geometric center, and join all the base corners towards the apex. Join all the base corners towards the apex. Name the points as A, B, C, D, E and the axis point O. Draw the projections up to XY line and complete the pyramid. So in front view, join all the base corners towards the apex. Now, the next condition is, it is lying on one of its triangular faces on the HP. So redraw this front view such that one of its triangular face must be on XY line, that is CDO must be on XY line. So first mark any point CD on XY line, C dash D dash as center, C dash nunchi O distance measure chesi arc draw cheste will get O dash. Based on these 2 points, transfer the remaining points also. Ela D nunchi A center తీసుకుని arc and O A distance to one more arc. Join these 2 arcs, we'll get the point A dash. Join AO and DO. So transfer the remaining 2 points also with the distance from D. D నుంచి C distance arc draw చేస్తే will get the axis point. D నుంచి B distance arc draw చేస్తే will get the point B. This is the position when the pyramid is resting on one of its triangular faces. The axis is inclined to HP. Now, draw the projections from front view to top view and parallel lines from the initial top view. Mark those respective intersection points. Projection from A dash and A, let it be A1. Similarly, projection from B dash and B, B1, C1, D1, E1, O. Now, as we are seeing from top view, complete base is visible. So join all the base edges with continuous lines, but CODO are heading. So join CODO as dashed lines. We already did it for the in same problem. I think we completed in the projections of solids. Next, also project the axis point. Draw the axis. Now, the section plane. A vertical section plane means perpendicular to HB. It can be seen as a line in top view. Top view atla, it is bisecting the top view, not the axis. Read the problem clearly. It is not bisecting the axis, bisecting the top, and the top view line length మాత్రమే measure చేసుకుంటాం. So identify the midpoint of this line. Identify the midpoint of this axis line in top view, and then draw an inclined line at 30 degrees inclination with reference line with XY line. The section plane is at an inclination of 30 degrees with the XY line. Highlight the edges. Now, this section plane is cutting at these points. Mark the points where this section plane is cutting. Mark all those respective points. And then join them. So it could end a confusion. Section plane and it is not actually a line, complete plane kabatti, it also cuts the B. It also cuts the base at B. So you have to take B means not B, it is also cutting on the base C24. C2B. C2B edge में the 0.5, D2E edge में the point here I'm representing. At this point, D2B. Now join all the retain the remaining part, eliminating the remaining part. Highlight only the retained part and complete the hatching. Draw the true shape of the section as we did in the previous problems. So ikkada chudandi, indaga some of you have raised the doubt. Parallel line enduku draw chesamu? True shape of the section draw chesappudu why you have drawn the parallel line? Ee problem kanuka if you mark 4 dash, ekkada vastundi 4 and 3 E points vastundi. True shape of the section ఈ సెక్షన్ లైన్ కి టచ్ అవుతూ వస్తుంది. మీన్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఓవర్లాపింగ్ విత్ ద ఫైనల్ టాప్ వ్యూ. ఫైనల్ టాప్ వ్యూ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ని ఓవర్లాప్ అవుతూ ఈ పొజిషన్ లో రిప్రజెంట్ అవుతుంది. సో ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే డిస్టెన్స్ మెయింటైన్ చేయడానికి కూడా లేదు. యాజ్ ద కండిషన్ గివెన్ ఈస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ రెస్టింగ్ ఆన్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్స్ ట్రయాంగులర్ ఫేసెస్ ఆన్ XY లైన్. సో డెఫినెట్ గా ఫ్రంట్ వ్యూ డ్రా చేసినప్పుడు ఆన్ XY లైన్ నే డ్రా చేయాలి. సో యాజ్ 4 and 3 points ఆన్ XY లైన్, సో ఈ లైన్ మీద 4 and 3 పార్ట్స్ 4 1 3 1 మార్క్ చేసి రిప్రజెంట్ చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ఓవర్లాపింగ్ కండిషన్ కాబట్టి డిస్టెన్స్ మెయింటైన్ చేయడానికి we will draw a parallel line to cutting plane. Cutting plane की parallel line draw చేసి as point 3 and 4 are on the reference line. First draw the perpendicular lines from all these points 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 3 and 4 on reference line ఉంది కాబట్టి project 3 and 4 only up to this particular position and mark the remaining points. Finally, you get the true shape of the section. And one important thing is, in our syllabus, we don't have this problem. Just మీకు ఏంటంటే ఒక ఐడియా ఉంటుంది అని చెప్పడానికి తప్పించి why? Because in our syllabus sections of solids is limited to simple positions, means when the axis is perpendicular to one reference plane and parallel to the other. But the problem ఏంటంటే axis is inclined to one reference plane and parallel to the other. So this problem you may not get it for the examination, but already concept చెప్తున్నాం కాబట్టి ఐడియా ఉంటుంది అని I have extended my explanation to this problem also. మీ sheet లో కూడా problem draw చేయండి. And actually one more problem is there in the PPT. No need to draw it in the sheet. Just go through this. So ఇది కూడా not a simple position, but go through this. And one more problem I'm giving you for work. You take this as the 10th problem and complete it. Previous problems అన్ని చూసారు, ప్రొసీజర్ చేశారు కాబట్టి take this as a 10th problem and complete it on your sheet. 1 to 9 problems are compulsory. 10th problem previous కాకుండా take this as the 10th problem. With this we completed unit number 3. Third unit complete అయిపోయింది. So third unit is a very simple topic, and examination point of view also it is easier to prepare. And next class, shall I continue the next topic also? So already చెప్తున్నాను కాబట్టి I'm stopping this recording కూడా స్టాప్ ఆపేస్తున్నాను.